but you'll have to first tell us about yourself. Then I'll ask you something else to do. Please.
So, good morning, everybody. I am Jharna Jagtiani. I am, of course, lawyer by profession, but a certified mediator as well, and an ADR practitioner. I have handled a lot of cases in terms of ADR categories, whether it is for banking, finance, marital and divorce cases, child custody, and so on and so forth. And apart from that, I also work with some mediators to handle their outreach and their online presence to make sure that I help them to build their online reputation and their outreach. So that's what in a nutshell I do. And apart from that, I'm also a founder of an NGO called Prerna Foundation, wherein we work mainly on mediation outreach program and legal awareness with corporates and individuals and various communities of justice. So
that's really good. Yeah. So you're giving back to the community, is it? But
yes, yeah. giving back to the community and helping them realize that mediation can be a primary mode of resolution before opting for litigation. So at least try it out.
But I think still it should not really be just a philanthropic activity. I think you should be getting revenue out of it. Only then do these things take off. Otherwise, it's like, okay, Jharna is doing something because she wants to help people. I think you should make it let's call it a business. I don't like to call it a business, but let's call it a business.
Yeah, there's already a commercial side, to the work that I already do. So hence this thought that, just helping them some understanding, and later on, yes, they do come back, to ask and understand, okay, what is this process? We did attend your workshop, or we did attend this talk that you were talking about to resolve dispute outside the court, but in the legal manner, how do we do it? So that's how.
Yeah, Nabil, I'll talk to you about this because I have my thoughts on this. But before that, you have to do something, Jharna.
Yes,
you have to tell us about the conference. Whatever you want to tell us about the conference.
Okay, firstly, I think this is an amazing conference in terms of getting various thought leaders from the industry to share their experience so that people know about what's happening and they learn from each other, especially from their experiences, and learn to see different perspectives, because every country has a different perspective towards, different cases. So I think that gives a good opportunity to see different perspectives and learn from each other. So I think that's where this conference plays a very important role. And yes, that's what I would like to say about it. Anything specific that you would like to ask about?
No, of course, I will ask you about the sessions that you have maybe seen, or whatever, heard. So with that, but I'll just tell people that, look, I mean, all the sessions are available on YouTube. Please watch them. Opening session, Inaugural Address by Ken Cloke, War in Ukraine, Lessons for Mediators. So this is up till 30th June. So all that is available in my schedule. I tried to put a nice comprehensive schedule. I don't know whether you have, of course, I've had a look at it. I've tried to put everything there so that you don't have to go anywhere. Just click that and YouTube link. So all that is on my social media platform. So you can always go there, see my schedule. So what has been your experience with the ones that you have watched? Anything specific that has really got your attention?
Honestly, nothing much in specific, but I do keep writing my notes, whatever I learn out of it. So yeah, that's on and off that I keep on doing, but nothing in specific that I would say right now.
Perfect. But I think the audio can be a little better. If it can be a little louder, it'll be nicer. I mean, I can catch what you're saying, but it'll be a little better.
Is it better now?
It is better. There's just a bit of a echoey kind of thing, but I think the volume is better. So, Jharna, leveraging social media. I mean, it's a general thing. Where all it has to be leveraged, for what all is has to be leveraged. Everything you have to take us through.
Okay, so when I say leveraging social media is to promote your mediation services. That's what I would like to talk about today. Wherein social media is a place where we find everybody there, whether from any part of the world. You can connect with them, you can talk to them, you can interact with them, learn from them. even sometimes you even get business opportunities to explore. So it's a place which is still unexplored in terms of mediation, I feel, at least in India. We don't have a lot of mediators using the power of social media to promote their services. I can understand that as lawyers we have some restrictions, but when I say leverage it, I don't mean to, again, going against the law. It's just that, you're trying to create awareness or you're educating people around it. So this is something which I have learned from my experience also, and because I work with certain mediators, that's where I understand this topic a little well in terms of how it has helped them to leverage their social media to get that attention as mediators. So that is what I would like to share as part of this topic.
Please take us wherever you want to take us. I'll come in whenever you want me to come in.
Okay, so we use various social media sites, and every social media site has its own pros and cons, and it's not important to be present everywhere. You can simply choose one or two to be there. Like for example, I do see your posts regularly on LinkedIn and Facebook. I'm not sure about, and of course YouTube, wherein all your videos go. But these are three primary websites where I see yours. If I have to do just general analysis, if you're okay with it.
But are you on LinkedIn, on Instagram or not?
I am on Instagram, but I am not that active on Instagram myself. So these are certain places where I get to see your, activities that you do in terms, in the field of mediation. So I think not, firstly, just choose few of them so that you're comfortable in terms of creating content and you're not overburdened, because marketing is not the primary job, or just being on social media is not the primary job. The primary job of a mediator is to facilitate conflicts or help with dispute resolution. So keeping those things in mind, it's better, either you have an assistant or an intern to take care of it. So be on limited social media sites to get started initially. And once you feel that, okay, you're open or your schedule permits you to create content, take that as an opportunity to explore other social medias. That is one that I would say. Second is stick to something which you are okay to do at any point in time. You should just not, take up an activity which would, add more stress on your schedule. And at some point in time, it's just dead. That activity is dead. That should not really happen when you're starting to use social media to interact with people or to familiarize people with your set of services and what are you doing. And of course, keeping the confidentiality in mind, you can simply write a generic case study instead of sharing a lot of details about case. You can simply write a case study that, okay, there was this particular company or there was this particular XYZ company with an issue. This is what happened in the mediation, some bits of it, and this is how the mediation settled. So writing case studies helps you to, helps people to understand that, yes, maybe they faced some similar issue, they will get back to you on that. So case studies is a good way to, let people know your expertise, your knowledge about the dispute. That is one. Second, if there is something particular that you have learned from from a case, or not really a case, but from set of sessions, you can share your experience as well. That certain set of things to be kept in mind while handling, let's say, divorce mediation, the essentials of uh, banking disputes or something, something that you have learned, and share it with the fellow mediators so that even they learn from you, because that's where you will also learn different perspective. Like for example, this conference, people have shared some beautiful set of ideas, their learnings, how things are handled at their end, or what happens in their particular country. So we in India now, we know, okay, this is also happening, this is also can be done. So once you share, you get people interacting for yourself, and that's where you start growing professionally. And also sometimes people refer you the case. So the power of referral and social media really works good when it comes to helping people to know about your service. So yeah, these are certain things that I would like to share. And if there's anything particular that you would like to ask me, I'll be happy to answer.
Look, one part I will definitely. What is your view on it? What say Facebook? What is the reach of Facebook? What is the reach of LinkedIn? Whom does it reach out to? Who are the kind of people? Because each of those platforms has some kind of a particular demographic, which
Yes, yes,
definitely
yes.
looks
So
at
when it
that.
comes to Facebook, it is, according to me, what I have observed. Okay, you can use Facebook to educate people, which works the best. If you want to educate people about what is mediation, how it is done, why is it helpful, anything which is related to awareness and education, please opt for Facebook because you have large number of audience. I mean, literally almost everybody's there on Facebook. It's very uh, less number of people that you'll find that, oh, I'm not on Facebook, which is absolutely fine. So you can tap them on LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn comes in where if you want to have your services being showcased to professionals, consultants, and organizations. So that's where it will be helpful. Twitter is something to build your network because Twitter, you have a limited character space, but again, it can be used very beautifully to uh, cross promote your services or cross promote your other platforms on Twitter. So it's a very good platform there. And of course, YouTube is something where you can have your set of videos or anything that you have in MP4 format, you can put up so that people can learn from you.
Because I
So,
think, yeah, because I think the thing is that one, of course, we'll discuss in terms of how much does the social media show your posts. Because look, Facebook relies on ads. So as I understand, I mean, of course, you can correct me, but basically, it'll show it to say 40 people. That's it. That's what I understand. That's it. They won't go beyond that. After that, they want you to take ads and spread it. So actually, the reach might not be so much. LinkedIn will show you that the post has been viewed by a lot of people. Now, what is that view? I don't know. Is it just while scrolling? Did I see it? Or did I actually stop on it? Did I click on it? I don't know. So you can maybe educate me on that. So I don't know. Instagram also, because they obviously it's ads what they want you to do. So is that in terms of actual reach? How much do you actually reach to? How many people do you reach with a
see,
post?
there are times wherein if I have to calculate my post that analysis that I do for myself, if I use the right keyword, I know I will get a very, very good. Like, there are posts of mine where I've got amazing interactions, like, in terms of likes, comments, and sometimes even share. So, and there are posts which I really expect a good interaction. Trust me, there's nobody reading. There's not even one like on it. So it's all about the time and the keyword that we use. Also, there's always to reach out to your local audience. It's very good to use your WhatsApp stories. They work really well because not everybody, like I said, these days not everybody is regular on social media so much. But if they see something on your stories, they definitely keep that. So leverage that to get them on your social media page, and also have always create a community out of your you know service, anything that you're providing in terms of, like, let's say today you're creating a community of mediators coming together through this conference and interacting with them, sharing their knowledge, giving them a platform to learn as well as share. So share out of their experience. So it's a small kind of community that you have created. And tomorrow, when let's say you're creating a newsletter, you can easily mail it to all of us, right? And we'll be happy to read because we have interacted with you, we trust you as a person, and the mail is not spam. Similarly, when you create a community, just simply share the link, and people will be more than happy to reach check your links. So it's not your distribution channel also makes a lot of difference, yes, because most of the social media, they definitely rely on ads. So you have to find good distribution channel, to make sure that people read what you're posting. It becomes your responsibility. It does not becomes, your audience responsibility to read your content. It becomes like, the one who posts, it becomes like, for me, it becomes my responsibility to make sure that I distribute it so well that I get the maximum people reading my art.
Because I think this is interesting because to combine it with emails, that is where I think that is where you'll be able to reach directly, and then they can click on the link and then see the post, because definitely the algorithm of social media is not going to show it to everyone. That's for sure. But when you said the keywords, when you talk about those, Now these hashtags is what you're talking about.
Yes, the
So
hashtags makes a lot of difference. Like, for example, minimum or maximum of 30 hashtags works on Instagram. But it's not important that you use all 30 hashtags. You can use limited set of hashtags which you find relevant, and it's okay not every time you get reach. But once you are regular with it, you will definitely get reach. So consistency is the key to get that set of people interacting directly or organically on your platform.
because this aspect is really, because I mean, look, when I read, well, I do a little Google search on this, it tells me don't use more than 4 hashtags on LinkedIn. Now, I don't know about Facebook, what the situation is.
See,
I mean,
Facebook and Instagram almost have similar set of rules and community guidelines, but when it comes to LinkedIn, having 30 hashtags does not really go well. They say maximum 4, but you can anywhere range it between 2 to 6, but not mandate. Or you can have your one particular hashtag which you would want people to follow. So you can just create one and just stick to it.
this is something we also will discuss, that educating people on this aspect, because this is what my issue has been, that I feel that people don't know how to see those posts, because obviously everyone's not searching it. So what I'll do is, let's put out first LinkedIn. Let's put LinkedIn out first. So on LinkedIn, if you go to Jharna's, okay, one second, let me just put it out to you also, so that at least people, I think we need to educate people on this aspect. A lot of people, let me also tell you that there are different generations which definitely are looking at. So basically, if you want to see posts of Jharna, just click on that bell icon and you will then get to know, you'll be notified about all new posts from Jharna, right? So
Yes.
that's LinkedIn. Now let's look at Facebook. On Facebook, you can go click this, one second, click these 3 dots on the side, and you go to see friendship. And then on these 3 dots, I don't know, these 3 dots here, click here and say that you want to add Jharna to favorites. So it will prioritize your thing. Then let's go to Twitter. What does Twitter have to tell us? Twitter tells us go to Jharna's thing, press the bell icon there, and you can get, okay, I'll have to go to settings, but that's a different thing. Let's, for a moment, let me put it on. Or for, I don't normally put these settings on, but it's okay. So then I click here. I want to see all tweets from Jharna.
Yeah.
And that's it. So these are things I think we need to also tell people now on the aspect of the hashtag. Now say I have a hashtag, I keep telling people to use Mediator Vikram hashtag, because that way I get to know if they've shared my post. And also when I use it, they get to know. So they can follow. How many
Right.
people? 5 people follow it. So people are not, I don't think they even know that these hashtags, how they're to be used by them. One is how the hashtag reaches a certain person. That person has followed this, only then will they get that notification that this thing is. And there also it won't show you all of them. It will show you only the ones they want to show you. And I don't know whether you can see all of them. No, I don't think they can see all that everyone tags on these hashtags. I don't think they can show you all of them. Is there some way of that doing that? I don't know. I don't know whether that's something like that.
No, I mean it shows you the most interacted post or
Yeah.
most
So
what you say shared post about on your top page, but then you have an option to filter it further. So you can go ahead and filter.
yeah, well, I'm saying that it won't show you all the posts that I put out with the hashtag Mediator Vikram. That's the only thing that
So it will show, but then you have to change the filter for it.
okay,
It
we'll
will
have a
show.
look at that. But the important thing is if you just click the bell icon, you'll get all posts. So
Yes.
that part of it is taken care of. The other thing is, like I was saying about the generations, different generations using different social media. So now I don't know the up till which point to Facebook. Is it up till the boomers, which is maybe say up till 1964? Then the LinkedIn came in for people up till 1980, Gen X. When I look at Gen X, I
Yes.
would think maybe, and then the millennials, Instagram. What is happening after that? What is Gen Z using? Is there something coming up? Okay, TikTok maybe. In some countries might be
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yes.
So we don't have TikTok here. No, that's banned here.
Gen Zs are still on Instagram and Twitter. Not much of Twitter, but still on Instagram.
Okay, so I think that is also how, because look, finally it's about whom you want to reach out to also, say, because
That's what I'm saying. If you want to leverage people, there's one platform that I use regularly for my business is WhatsApp. I have my communities there. I make sure that I even leverage the WhatsApp stories because everybody can see it.
Yep.
So that's where there is no demographic, there is no audience, there is no age bracket. Everybody gets to see this. And whoever is interested, they go and click the link and check my post. So having a community is very important because today I trust you because you're part of the community somewhere as in the mediation field. Same would be happen with the other mediators. But if we are outside our community, nobody really knows us much. Hence, we have to create our own community, people, or set of people who trust us for our services or just normal regular interaction. You can, in fact, there are times wherein people really run out of content, and it's okay to reshare your content again and again, engage with your community. So that is also very important, keeping your community engaged. You just can't leave them.
What about people like me who have too much content out there? What do they do?
Then I think you cannot really focus on repurposing your content. Every time you create new, and that's what it goes out, because I do see you are extremely consistent when it comes to your set of activities. There is a lot of planning that goes, there is organization. It's planned really very well to ensure that everything goes smooth. So in your case, I would not suggest repurposing. In your case, I'll because you're creating every time a new content, you have you can just share that.
I'll tell you, finally, the way I looked at it was that, look, this is like Netflix. I am putting out content out there. Now you can go to YouTube, search what you want, and find that particular topic. Chances are maybe you'll be able to find it on my channel. I don't know how much we will get when you search on YouTube, because I tell people, look, you just search Mediator Vikram and you put the search after that. So now, supposing, let's see now, right now, if I am putting out Mediator Vikram and Jharna, what does it show me? Let me just see. But normally I have seen that that's good enough. You don't have to find anything more than that. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, there's someone is just calling. Okay, so let us see how that works, because YouTube, okay, we have to go to you. We haven't done YouTube yet. Because I think education is one thing. What we need to do, Jharna, is maybe we make a shorter video sometime and we send it out, so put it out on education. So say, what does so Jharna, if I do? Okay, so we get that on top. So we've got that, leveraging social media. So I'm saying that normally it works. If you put Mediator Vikram and whatever, then I don't know whether I've never tried, of course, topics. Give me a topic in terms of what your interest in relation to mediation might be.
Let's take it simple. What is mediation?
Who will we find that? I've never done what is mediation.
Never. You have found out.
Look, I'll tell you what my purpose was. That there is so much content on these aspects about mediation, the process and everything. So I have not seen, I mean, for me, that part of it, did I really need to put on? Let's see what culture, what does culture tell me? Cultural perspective, culture and the mediator. So there are lots of options you get.
See, if you put Mediator Vikram and then you put the extension, you will find it. But if you just simply put up, that's the challenge. Now, for example, if you simply put up, let's say mandatory mediation, just mandatory mediation without Mediator Vikram, then that would be a challenge to find your video.
Yeah, definitely. So that part of it is, the search is, I think, the most important thing. But what I also have to tell people that please go to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to it. Go to the notification. Where is very I'm seeing it, so I can't subscribe to it. Okay, let's.
Your own channel.
Jannat, do you have a channel?
Sorry.
Do you have a channel, YouTube channel?
No, I have a Prerna Foundation channel.
Prerna Foundation. Let's look at Prerna Foundation. Okay. This one?
No, not this one.
This one? Not this one.
More down.
Any of these?
No, none of these. You will have to scroll down a little bit more.
Can I put Jharna and if I find it? Is it
No,
better?
you won't be able to find it. If you just put my name, you'll find my YouTube videos where I have been given talks or something, but I'm not sure if Prerna Foundation channel.
This one? No. Okay, so searching is what is the important thing.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Search is the challenge, even for channels.
Okay, so that part of it is something we will have to. How does that look at that? Because there'll be so many videos on.
Yeah, so in that case, you have to use, like I said, the keywords and the hashtags, they make a lot of difference. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, this is the one.
Perfect. So here I'm just telling people, look, all you have to do is press the subscribe button, click the bell icon, say I want all the thing. So there is another way of going about it. The advantage that you get is that you will also get to know when the person posts new videos and when the person goes live. Both the aspects are sometimes important. So these are the small things that we expect, at least look, I expect people to do, because if you want to really stay in touch, this is these are good ways of doing it. Because look, emails, the only thing with emails is that one, if you will have to send out bulk mails, so you have to also tell me, how do you manage bulk mails? Is it going to be something which you use one of those particular, I don't know, MailChimp and all? I see people using that, but will it still go in spam?
Unless they have subscribed and confirmed your newsletter, it will not go in spam. It will go in updates or forum folder, depending on which email address they use. Otherwise, it will not go in spam, that's for sure. But
Okay,
if
so
it is
first
something
thing,
which you are randomly sharing by yourself without their subscribing, it will end up being in spam.
okay, so first thing is to be able to get them to actually subscribe to that email.
Yeah, subscribe and confirm the subscription. That is very
so that process needs to be done.
Yes, because there are a lot of other services where you have a choice of automated confirmation, but then it might end up going to spam in that case. So a manual confirmation for a subscription is very important.
But how often should you send out emails?
See, you can I like to plan for my clients at least monthly newsletter, and that goes as part of their marketing. So a monthly newsletter is good so that in a month I know what activities you have done or what is the progress, what is the news, and it need not always be something that you have created. Like I understand you have a lot of content, so in your case, you will not need a curated content. But let's say if I have to create a newsletter and I have not done so much of activity, I would possibly share some of your activities, saying that what Mediator Vikram has done this in this particular month, or somebody else in this mediation field has done this. So you can curate the content and have your newsletter. So because, that is also acceptable.
Yeah. So basically it depends on how much information you have for that month. Because my issue, I'll tell you, my issue is that in a month, of course, I mean, when I say a symposium happens. So the last symposium was something like 31 sessions only in that symposium, plus in conversation with the beautiful mind and some other. So there'll be like something like maybe that might be same 40 things go out. So one way for I really don't send out emails so much, because I just feel that maybe I'm cluttering their inbox, and if they want to stay in touch, these are methods I feel they can stay in touch. It's easy. Like I said, you just press the LinkedIn thing, you'll get to know all the posts, and everything is posted.
Yes.
So I was trying to put it out that way rather than cluttering the inbox, but maybe that should be looked at. That should be looked at as another, maybe just, I don't know, maybe not total information in it, maybe just the LinkedIn post or whatever, the link to the posts.
Like for example, you can, like, because you create, you have lot of content created around different subjects, you can have monthly theme. Like let's say this particular month you take mediation and culture, for example, you will have approximately 5 to 6 videos. You can embed that.
Jharna, there are, in last year in August and September, I did a symposium. I did a symposium which was called the Woodstock of Mediation, which was mediation in our culture and tradition. 97 speakers. So
So you
I would,
can, like for example, that's what I'm saying. You can have it theme wise, and you can break it
yeah.
into parts.
No,
And
what I can do,
that's where people can see those all set of content. You can start. You can have combination of your old videos and new videos
yeah.
together.
Now, that's what I'm thinking, that because they've been such nice sessions, but they got lost because there were so many sessions in that period. So maybe, like you said, maybe highlight a few that this happened. Maybe this happened last year. One happened 3 months back. One happened here. So curation of things. Look, my only little bit of an issue is that for me, all of them are important. For me to say that this one is something you should watch out of the symposium might not be the right thing. So no, but I'm going to maybe put out all of them over time. Maybe that way I can
Yes. So
justify to
maybe
myself.
you can just refine it as per your theme. Like let's say when we talk about mediation and culture, and when you say there are, let's say, 100 plus videos, for example, you can divide it in 6 months and make it a monthly activity. For 6 months, you just have mediation and culture as a theme, and you share out content related to it, and which is very good. Or you can also embed it as part of your website. Instead of letting people to leave your website, you can make sure people are just on your website and watching your content.
Yeah, this aspect we have to discuss, because when I talk to people, they say, look, no one these days goes to websites. Is what I did was
Oh,
I made a basic. It was,
that is a myth. People go on website. They want information. They spend literally hours on website.
I don't know whether you went to. Have you gone to mine?
Yes, I have been to yours.
So I tried to look. What I did was, let's keep it simple, more like a notice board. I thought that, look, there's so many videos going out. I had to, for people to keep a track of this. Okay, social media posts, or I mean profiles, everything is okay. I had to tell people I exist physically somewhere, so I put out the map so that people, this is not just a digital nomad something. Maybe one day I will be that. Okay, so basically what happened is, like, this mediation vision 2026. So I said, let's put out only the post. So you can click here, and then further, I don't need to put all the details here. So it becomes, for a person who hasn't seen the post, they can just click here. I found it, I put it like that. I don't know whether that's because each of the posts, if I put out, you can imagine how many posts there are. So
I understand. See, also the what I see as a drawback here, just letting you know this,
yeah,
that if I click on Twitter, I go on Twitter. I just see one post of yours, and then I am busy on Twitter with the entire homepage that I have. So making sure that people don't leave your website, that's where you create a Netflix for them. Because
but
when I start Netflix, I am just on Netflix, browsing everything. I'm not leaving Netflix as an app.
But for me, look, I'm telling you, for me, it is only for their assistance to be able to find something. To say, like, supposing like on the schedule of events, I put out all the various things. So Evolution of Mediator will take you to the playlist on the YouTube channel. So I mean, I try to put those out there in that sense, so that at least
See, the thing is,
people.
you never know what works for you.
There's so much content,
There's
Jharna,
so
you can't
much.
imagine. There's so much content. So I put out whatever basic I did. Now, what else do what else can I tell them about? These are things that I mean, then I did, what I did was I made one thing for the YouTube channel. So I mean, basically, okay, this the thing for Ken Cloke, because obviously, I mean, those are words of wisdom he needs. So made a specific thing for him, put it out there on the YouTube channel. What I tried to do was, look, I mean, look, how much detail can you put? So I made it simple, that okay, just the click, you can click on the person's name and find out about the person, and click on YouTube. That's it. Nothing more is required, actually. So this way it becomes like an index. It was more like
Right.
an index. I mean, like, here you can search maybe on particular person, on, because Evolution of Mediator is a one series, so you don't have to. But otherwise, I mean, if you have to search a name, you can search a name and you'll find the person's name. That's one thing that person can do. Searches can happen here more easily than they can happen on YouTube.
True.
So now you said, basically, okay, let's just look at, say, culture and traditions. Now there's a whole session out here. The topic is the same. So basically, mediation are culture and tradition. So here again, search can be only about the people and the country. So I put the country out there. So if you want to know what's happening in Brazil, you can click and see the session when this person talks about Brazil. So I tried to put it in this manner. I mean, I just felt that this was something which would be just an index for them, because searching for posts, I don't think that will serve their purpose so much.
Apart
Whenever,
from, see, this is apart. See, at the end of the day, I am leaving your website and going somewhere else. I would, because when I open YouTube, for example, I'll just see one particular video And after, at some point in time, I will have lot of suggestions next to it, which may or may not be yours. So in that case, I'm leaving the platform altogether. So what I'm saying is, have
Look,
some kind of content which glues them on your website.
I'll tell you what I need to do. All these things will start if I'm monetizing it. That's when these things will start. Because I'll tell you, the thing with the entire activities was, let's just promote mediators and mediation. I never looked at it from the monetization perspective, because I just wanted the word to spread. And the moment I go into monetization, my whole approach will change. So I'm finding ways to go about it. I put out in the post everywhere. It's like crowdfunding. I said, okay, if you feel that you appreciate, on my website, I don't know whether you read.
I have read that. I have.
I went a little step further there about what my wife or daughter keep telling me, because that is, look, this is a factual position. I put out exactly what I've gone through. I mean, that is, and I'm not saying they're wrong, because work for this world is, okay, maybe I removed that from me. I'll put it back here. Oh, it is there. Yeah. Why do you spend so much time promoting mediation is something that I hear. I've been hearing for the last 2 years. Why do you do that? So and they're not wrong. I don't say they're wrong. So now, to look at it from the monetization perspective, how do you think I should go about it? Crowdfunding, I just told you.
Yeah,
Crowdfunding, this I did not put, you have crowdfunding websites also, but I said these are people who know me. I mean, they do see the work. Let's see what they have to say. Not that there is much, there's no activity, much activity, maybe a couple, one or two people there. So that was one option I thought. What else do you think? So that not to move away from the aspect of promoting mediators and mediation, because otherwise, if I say, okay, I want viewership, then I'll start looking at who will give me viewership. Should I call? Whom? Here, look, the idea is to have people who are just about starting off, and just for them to be participating. I was just telling the very senior mediator I was talking to yesterday, and this aspect of the work that I'm doing, and I was telling him, look, there are people who didn't even know about mediation. Now, to get them into the fold, make them feel part of the entire thing, like a community, you said, make them feel part of the community. But when I'm looking at monetization, I mean, what role will they play? So I don't want to get into that route of that. So give me some method where it is still keeps the focus on the promotion of mediators and mediation, but still I can justify it to my wife, and I don't reach close to divorce that Jharna has to come in to help me mediate that. So balance that out for me.
One thing is, you can have a paid newsletter because you have a lot of content and amazing content. Of course, I will find it everything on Google, no doubt about it. But something out of your experience or the other mediators' experience, I will never find it on Google. So keep certain content which is exclusively for newsletter. So have a paid newsletter. It can be, you can charge, let's say, 1,000 rupees for a yearly newsletter, which you can send out monthly once. That can be done. Or you can create a community where there is, again, I'm just giving you bare minimum price. Maximum you can see how it works with you. Again, you can create a set of community for mediators where there is regular activities happening and there is a lot of learning as well. Apart from exposure and giving newbies or making people aware about mediation, create a community where there is internally there is learning happening for other set of mediators as well. Let there be every week or a monthly or bi-monthly meeting online for the mediators worldwide, so that they can interact. Make it more of, let's say, as a a paid community. That's what I can say. Wherein you even give them opportunities to feature on your podcast or on your symposium or conference, whatever activity you get involved into. The third thing that I can think of is possibly you can, if there's good number of viewership on your YouTube channel in terms of subscribers and everything, you can monetize that channel. But that is a very minuscule part of it.
Yeah, because I don't know whether you saw the closing address of that symposium that I'm talking about, culture and traditions. There was Sukhsimranjit Singh. Of course, he's in the Pepperdine University, and also in that he was saying that if you look at the views, there's nothing, and one song goes out and millions of views are happening. How do we make? He used the word, say, how do we make mediation cool? So that's
what I said. Your distribution channel needs a lot of difference. things. I don't know. Sorry. Like for example, let's say we do this video today. Okay. I know for the fact that I'll be putting it up on my every social media. After every, let's say after every 3 days, I'll be using this for next 1 month. Okay, for example. I'll not be only putting it up on my social media, but I'll be also sharing the part of communities where I am. Of course, I can't force people to, click the link and, watch the video. But I know that, yes, I have done my part. Now it is up to them whether they want to get educated about it. So having the right distribution channel also makes a lot of difference while you're doing any set of activity when it comes on social media. So
because look, one thing is to even monetize a channel, you have to reach a subscriber base of 1,000.
Yes.
So you have to reach 1,000. And I've never pushed on subscription. I write it on every post, but I don't. Today I sent a message out to someone. He's in Bangladesh and he's like active also on social media. I said, please circulate it with your whoever in WhatsApp, social media. Let's get subscriptions in, because at least if the subscription is there, one notification comes to someone, they might watch it. Of course, these are long videos. So on the other end, we have to start working on the shorter videos. So that because
apart from shorter videos, you can even have some set of blogs written from those set of videos. What you have, it can be interactive blogs, like you ask something and somebody else said something. It can be in post, it can be in an interview format, or it can be complete gist of what was part of the video, and then you give a video link. That's where I'll be interested. For example, I'm just saying that if I know, okay, let's say mediation and culture in South Africa, for example. For that particular video, you gave me a brief out of it that, okay, what, so and so person spoke about it. These are certain set of points that we discussed, and these were takeaways, and this is the link to the video. Now, if I've read that and I want to know more about it, I'll go and click on the video and watch the long form of video.
Yeah. Actually, there is a lot of work which can be taken out of this content also, but yes. The only thing is that for me to sit like I do everything on my own, that definitely would happen. So it'll be one of those situations where, okay, some people think, okay, one is of course crowdfunding, okay, some gift. The other is whatever, this community thing is exactly what I'm working on right now. The only thing that was coming up was because the amount that you want to ask them to pay, because what US can pay and what India can pay will be a little different. So to be able to link it to something, I don't know what I was just thinking. Was it going to be linked to the per capita income or of the countries?
Or just keep it standard, that, okay, take it or leave it. This is the standard price.
No, but it's
just that, the denominations will be different.
Yeah, the amounts, because because I don't know whether actually it should be different or not, but I'm just thinking that the amount is a certain amount for the US will not be something which is comfortable for people in India. I don't know. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss that. Maybe we'll discuss it off recording, because these are thoughts of mine and I don't like to discuss amounts and all those things. Because I want people to be involved. So it's a balance that I have to keep. I don't want people to go away, because everyone's participation is important. That's how community works. But of course, there is a lot of work to be done, which is what we're going to talk about now on the aspect of one is the mediators reaching out and promoting themselves. The other is to be able to use social media to reach out to people, promote mediation. So that's going to be, of course, that requires a very, very massive kind of activity for me, because for me, it's that every corner of the country and the world, every village to reach there. So how do you think ads is the way to go? Or is there
ads is what I call as a vicious circle. Once you're stuck in ad, every time you have to be part of it to get that kind of reach and numbers, because numbers definitely give you good kick when you're doing that kind of work. So I would not advise that, be part of that vicious circle, because once Google knows that, okay, you have the capacity to pay, it is going to create that trap for you every single time. So not really advisable, but going organic, yes, it will take time. But once if it becomes a moment, for example, like I said, the reason to create community is because people feel people are together. They would want to promote it. Like for example, today I am part of like yesterday itself. I created my post and I put it up that, okay, this is what is happening. So not only here, I will post it across my communities otherwise, where I shared the link with them. So it's up to you how people, how connected are you with people? What's your credibility with them? How open are they to, happy with your success or happy to be part, on this journey with you? So
Because
that's where community comes into picture. That's very important, because even if you click, let's say you have a community meeting, for example, every Thursday, just for example, and you click one screenshot and put it up and you tag people. People will be more than happy to share that image. Why? Because they are part of that activity.
But Jana, the thing is that all that's of course people do share my post and everything, but I feel largely it gets limited to the mediation world. Now we have to reach the user. So now reaching the user, how much will happen through this activity of people sharing, and how much will I have to reach out beyond that? What other means do we? One is, look, YouTube. I'm thinking that let's make a short video to explain to people on a very basic terms, and if it goes viral, whatever, viral and not in the millions of views viral, at least if some people start sharing it, one way I was thinking is that share it on WhatsApp and ask people to share it further. If they do it, damn good. But very basic as to how they can actually, it can help, because it's not about me. It's telling people to come to me and I will do mediation for you. It's about just the fact that you should use it. So make those in various languages is something which we.
See, one thing I've realized as part of every activity that I've done, whether it is for me or for my clients in terms of social media outreach or any kind of activity which is related to mediation, there has to be call to action. Even if I do an offline event, let's say I've been invited to be part of, a talk or a conference or even a panel discussion or something, I tell them that, this is what you can do, or this is how you can reach out to me, or this is what you need to do. So, when there is call to action, you tell them that this is what you're supposed to do, they will always get stuck. And most of them, they end up doing it.
There
Or
is
you
a
can, tell them, like, for example, I do tell them that, I do a 15-minute or 30 minutes free consultation for this particular service. You can reach out to me on this one. So they know how they can reach out to me, because they have received the information from me. They would want to reach out to me. And from there, I can say that, okay, you know what, because I may not have that kind of subject expertise, why don't you reach out to this particular mediator? I give, okay, like, you know what, this person has good experience. He's expert on this particular subject matter. Why don't you speak to him? This is their contact.
because look,
So there has to be some way that people can reach out to you.
Because look, I'm telling you, this as aspect of putting mediators out there, that's what I've done, so that people get to know, and whatever sharing they're doing, whoever has to contact them and all that activity. Now it's a matter of, what my whole focus is on, identifying those with the mediator mindset in every corner of the world. That's the whole thing. So for that to be able to make it into a movement is what I'm trying to do. Call it a movement, I call it the dispute resolution revolution, whatever words we use. So I'm trying now, the idea is to create that whole movement and be able to get people involved in that. So there, where does how do you actually get that reach of social media? And you said, let's not look at ads for that reach. It has to be an organic kind of thing that is a more long-term sustainable thing. That's what you're trying to say? So how do we do that? How do you get people to
See, one is, let's say if you have a community name, or let's say you're talking about dispute resolution revolution. Okay. If that's what you call it, one, definitely have a hashtag for it. Second, the reason I talk about paid communities is because if I have paid for something, I will take up things seriously. And if something is happening, I'll be more than happy to be part of it. Like, for example, if I'm part of your paid community, for example, and I know you're doing something, I'll be more than happy to share it across, because I know that's going to benefit not only me alone, but everybody outside at large. So, having that small piece attached to it, whatever it is, small, big, I don't know the amount, but the time I pay for a service, I will take it up seriously. But because if I have not paid for it, I will never take up things seriously. I'll be like, okay, this is just one of the things that I've done, which can be ignored. So to monetize it, and if you want a revolution, then there has to be a paid community in place. That's where, everybody will talk about the same thing in same sense.
Well, all that planning is already done. Now, in terms of the amounts involved and all that is what I am trying to figure out. So that is something which, of course, like I said, we can discuss it after we stop, because this is look, for me, different countries, different amounts. Is that okay or not? I think it's all right, perfectly all right. I don't think there's any issue with that. No standardized thing works for everyone. So maybe that part. So I think paid community is definitely on, is that work is happening. That I mean, the whole larger plan is there now to just be able to get people, like you said, someone pays, gets, is part of it, will maybe push it in the way, in a certain direction, and then that whole growth can happen there. So I think that is movement to happen, get the right people, and only people, if people pay, it is people who are serious, who want to be participating in it and taking it further. Makes sense. Makes sense. What else, Jharna? What else do we have to do in relation to? We have to reach out to people, educate them on mediation, and get them to use it. Get the mediators
One
out
more
there.
thing that I would like to add here is take every opportunity that you get to be in front of public, whether it is your school people or students or anywhere, anywhere and everywhere, wherever you get a speaking opportunity, take it and stick to your subject.
No, this is for other people. This is for other people. No, no, not for me. That I'll tell you, I stopped. I stopped that because there is so much work here. I'm telling you, I can spend the whole day and more, and still this thing that you're talking about, from the content which is already there, creating something out of it, getting people to maybe look. Writing is one thing that up till now I did not want to put out, only because there is so much written stuff circulating. Are people finding time to read everything? I don't know, because there's so much, all these people who are involved, all of them. Let's say Ken Cloke. I mean, in terms of writing, there is so much he writes. So it's all out there. I mean, to get more written content out there, whether it helps or not, I don't know. What do you think? The newsletter kind of thing,
See,
which
that's
people
what I'm
heard.
saying. That's what I'm saying. You never know what connects with who. You never know whose writing style is something people would like. Maybe somebody would like yours. Maybe somebody would like mine. Maybe somebody would not like mine. So that's okay. You don't know what taste or what preference they have in terms of writing and understanding things.
So one thing is, what everyone has these LinkedIn newsletters. So maybe a LinkedIn newsletter, and maybe look, not about a program schedule or something, more about those people who have come on a certain show in that period, a little brief on what happened there, something like that. But who's going to do it, Jharna? I can't. I'm not going to be able to do.
That's where the power of team comes into picture. You can either collaborate and work with people. That is one. Because I definitely believe in collaboration. I don't believe in competition. Because while I'm competing, I am not really leveraging my energy, nor I'm looking forward to the opportunity. Hence, I look forward to collaborate with people. So I would suggest collaborate with people and see
That's
where
all I
you
do.
utilize the content.
That's all I do. I just collaborate. That is
So
entire thing. But now,
see, that is just one-time collaboration. You need to have a long-term collaboration.
long term. Yesterday, okay, let's just have a look at two sessions. Yesterday we had, one was honesty and mediation. One was about cross cultural. About, what was it called? The one on the later one. That other one that Louis Ore did. You just listen to them, okay? That was cross cultural consensus building strategies for foreign investment projects. So have a look at those. Both of them have been involved for the last almost 2 years. And they spoke about it in that session, that we've been connected for that long and all. So it's a long-term collaboration. So now to be able to take that collaboration and ask them on a very, I mean, written, if it's written, then maybe like what he discussed, put it down into a shorter kind of a summary with a link to the YouTube video, something like that, so that at least you can watch the whole thing, but what he wanted to say can be put out there. And they can do it themselves, they can summarize it, and it helps them also, because definitely if it goes out as Louis Ore had done this or Andrea had done this, it is also them going out. So I think that's a good idea, to be able to tell them to create small kind of things. And if you have that email kind of newsletter or a LinkedIn newsletter, so at least people get to know, okay, something happened, what was it all about, and if they want to watch it, they get the link. Makes sense. Makes sense. I think that can be easily done. I think I think in that mediation in a culture and traditions symposium, I did tell people that whatever you've discussed here, if you can put it down in a paper form, We can compile it and put it out. There were not too many contributions there. There were not too many contributions. So I think a full paper is not something people can write.
Right.
It
So see,
it has to be.
you can also request one thing is like, for example, this is what I prefer doing when I am hosting a conversation like this. I prefer having uh, requesting the speaker that, you know what, if you could just write, or if you could just share a document, whatever you're going to discuss, it would be easier for me to prepare a report. And I do prepare a report because I do keep records of whatever work I've done. Whether I publish it or not is a different thing. But when I say that, that really helps and works the best.
I tell you what thing, people have now got used to coming on my shows. They don't know where this conversation is going to go. So for them to be even prepared of what is going to happen, no chance. Now it is post that event to summarize what happened. Because I don't know whether you will watch that. Luis Ore, after this, I did a symposium on heart, soul, spirituality, and mediation. So in his session, it was just a thought that came up. I said, let's look at mediators as routers, because we were talking about energy and of course the whole spirituality and all that. So he, after that, in the last day, on the last day of all these events, I have a learnings and key takeaways session. So there he spoke about what we had discussed. Then he took that clip out of that video and he posted it. So that's like a summarization of that whole session. So though that's kind of thing they can do. People can do that. I can ask them to do that. So that should
Or
not be.
see, that's what I'm saying. See, at one point in time, even I started up as solo, to be honest. Even I started up as solo. But then I can't stress my schedule, or I stress myself with so much of additional activities. At some point in time, I had to come up with my team. I had to hire people, or I had to hire interns to be part of it. So yes, there is a lot of things that you have planned, but then because you can't do it, all by yourself, either you have to decrease the number of activities or you need to grow your team. It's either of the way.
I tell you, the thing with me up till now was because these were all collaborations. They're all collaborations. Calling someone for a conversation is a one-to-one personal thing. Now, I can't have anyone replying to my social media messages. This is very personal. This is me in touch with them. It can't be impersonal at all. So that whole connection is personal. So that activity definitely. The conversations I have, these are my conversations with them. No one else can take over. Now the next stage of a team can be to take out from that content certain things which can then be put out, then whatever summarization comes, put it in a certain format and put it out as newsletters, that whole, because look, I have tried to use as much technology that I can to try and limit what usage. So even if an email, if there's a newsletter to be emailed, to get emails, you have technology where they can obviously go there and enter their email address and it goes into that database. So let's use technology. So tell me what else in terms of technology that we can use.
In terms of emails, I prefer using ConvertKit. So
Which one?
ConvertKit.
What kit?
ConvertKit.
You can tell me the name later.
It's similar to your MailChimp, but it is much better. I mean, I find the user interface to be easy, and they have some good templates that you can very easily edit and send it across to people. So that's where I use, whether it is for a landing page, whether it is for a consultation call, whether it is for inviting people to be to subscribe to newsletter or to upcoming podcast or anything. That's where I prefer using ConvertKit.
Okay, what is the spelling of that? One second, let me just put it down there.
I'll just try.
Yeah, let's use it, because look, like I mean, like by ConvertKit, because in terms of the streaming that I do, it's just that look, you have to keep either stay in touch with what's happening. I just found out about this restream, and from there it goes on to all the platforms. So for me it was easier only because of the fact that in a way a post goes out, so both the activities happen. And the only thing with that is that the now viewership moves away from YouTube, and the viewership moves to those platforms, because when you're on that and that thing comes out. So I've seen that YouTube, I don't see people watching them so much, because I think that's more convenient, and all of them are obviously on that social media, and this pops up maybe, I don't know how, whatever way it comes to them. So that has something. But then finally these people also, earlier it was you can put it out to so many as many channels. Now they want to limit the number of channels on the free thing. And for
Yes.
me, the moment I start the whole paid thing, then it finally is that monetization will become more important. So let's see, let's create the community, let's get some funding out of it, and then look at the paid aspect also if that's required. Because I actually then was thinking that should I actually be streaming on all these channels, or just focus on YouTube? Because finally, if we have to monetize, then YouTube is the only one you can monetize, really.
So see, you will see. It's good to have multiple streaming happening because, like I said, you never know who is on which platform or who connects with you on what platform. So it's okay to have multiple streaming. That is not a problem because your visibility is very important. See, you're doing something which is actually a movement or we are moving towards a revolution through your activity. So let it be put across everywhere. I will not ask you to limit that, but I will ask you to create certain set of exclusive content which is only and only for community, which does not goes out beyond the community.
Yeah.
Even if it means set of 10 people, that is only for those set of 10 people.
Okay.
And because I know I am one of those 10 people, I have paid for it, I will not share it across because I have paid for it. So at the end of the day, if it is something that I've invested my money, I will not put it across outside free. So that's where you are also safe. The community is also,
Well, I do that for me is will be a bit of a problem, because I've always been saying that if people come and we have these conversations, let it go out to everyone. I do, because in someone sitting in some corner of the world watches something, gets inspired by it, does something. So I wanted all these to go out. So what I was thinking was that on the aspect of this community part of it, have these networking kind of little sessions, and that is limited to that, obviously, that community where people that come in there, and let them just be part of that, so that this whole content which goes out, that I don't want to limit. Because look, say a person like Ken Cloke, now people are charging money for him to come and speak, and people pay substantial amount when I look at that. But then it is that people who, how many people were in that session? How many will there be? I mean, what, 100, maybe less than that, 50, 40, I don't know how much, whatever numbers are. So finally, that whole, I mean, Ken Cloke's time, which is the important thing, gets only spread out to only those many people. But while if it comes out onto YouTube, not today, everyone also, people tell me that this is something resource which is there for years, and people will look back after 5 years and say that kind of a whole resource is available. So that part of it, I don't want to let go of that. It is very tempting. I'm telling you this. What you're saying is,
in
I
that
mean,
case, what can be done is you can, let's say you create an exclusive video for your community today, and but you don't publish it on YouTube for next 6 months. You publish it after 6 months.
that
So I'm
can be
not
done.
saying that you're limiting your, content, distribution to anybody from the world. It's just that first you're focusing on your community because that's what you're looking to create a revolution from.
Yeah,
And then you can have a deferred publication or, on various any other platform that you want.
So what can be done is actually, because look, I want to start have a whole skill development program. So actually, once the community develops, then that community definitely needs to benefit from it, because this is not something that everyone needs to see. Because I also have to decide that, look, how much content does everyone want to have to see, and how much is something that community, because of course when the community grows to a certain level, when because they have to be involved, they have to be doing lots of things in relation to mediation. So for their skill development, what was required, and the best, like I keep saying, the best in the world, that I started a lecture series, lectures about mediation by the best in the world. So that at least people keep talking about, I don't know whether you've heard me about the training and skill development difference. So I'm saying that if these people are available, and those are the people you listen to, the whole concept changes. While we don't know what happens in trainings that people go through, who's doing the training, I don't know whether there is some certifying body for the trainer. Everyone talks about certification of the person who attends the training. What about those people? What is happening there? You will never know. Within those 20 people, what have you told them? I mean, have you told them, have you given them the right direction, or have they lost their confidence when they came there because they knew something, and that was a natural ability, and suddenly they said, oh, what is this? Is some technical rocket science? I don't know what it's all about. What am I going to do when I land up? How do I go about it? This opening statement, this, that. confuses them. When I talk to them, a lot of these people tell me that we don't really have confidence. We don't even know what it's all about. We don't even know what are we going to do. So that, I think, takes away from that natural ability, that mediator mindset. But interesting. I mean, we have to look at both the aspects together, because funding is required. Definitely, there is so much reach that has to happen in every corner of the world. So definitely, yeah. So Jharna, that was very educative. But this is education on the YouTube, whatever's live stream education. Otherwise, have to keep giving me some suggestions on what all technology definitely, because there's so much out there that you can use. I mean, look at WhatsApp. I was seeing on Instagram, there was some ad on sending out WhatsApp messages without it coming up into the WhatsApp, this thing that why there were so many messages going out. So some concept someone had developed. I mean, I'm sure there are lots of them. I saw that. So interesting. So you have one of these and then automatically sending out all the WhatsApp messages. Obviously, the people getting it, they might not like it, but but at least they have all this technology available. Because sitting here and forwarding to 5 people at one time, I mean, how many people can you do it to? But if that it takes your entire directory and just sends it out to everyone. But have you tried one of those? Have you any? You tell me about something that works, because I don't know these Instagram ads. I don't know whether how. I mean, are they scams or do they actually work? I have no idea. The other thing is the LinkedIn extractors on the email addresses. Do they have something that works that way? That they can
Yes,
from
we
your
do have, but then again, see, if you extract the email and you, like, if you're using it, depends what purpose are you using it for.
no, just to ask them to subscribe to the newsletter.
Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah. So in that case, I would not suggest that send them on email, because it will end up in spam. And if I've not checked it for 30 days, it is automatically deleted. I would suggest rather message that person on LinkedIn, because if it is from unknown person, there is another folder where your messages goes and they are not deleted. At some point in time, if that person reads that message, if they find it interesting, they will definitely reach out.
But there must be a limitation to how many messages you can send on LinkedIn. I'm sure these people keep
There is a-
limiting everything that you do. You do this much, and they'll tell
But
you, no.
your activities does not end up being spamming activities, because there are a lot of people who misuse social media for spamming activities and abusing the platform, which is not right.
So basically, I think you have to know the numbers that you can send in terms of Facebook, how many messages you can send. So on that day, only send those so many messages. And on
For
LinkedIn
example, if
also.
you have your page, previously the limit was 100 people you can send an invite, and whoever keeps on following your page, that number of credits you keep getting back. Now the credit has increased to 250 credits. So in a month you can send out invitation to people for 250 people in a month, so that they can follow your page.
But what is the, I mean, in terms of page following, what is the advantage more as beneficial than the profile? How does the page, because I also made a page because I said, look, the pages should be made. But what is the advantage?
See, okay, now there's one major advantage that I find is, if it is a LinkedIn page, that means you have a registered domain and you are serious about your work. But if I see that, yes, you're doing a lot of work and I don't see you having an organization name which does not has a LinkedIn page, I will not take you up seriously. So the time you have your LinkedIn page, that means you have a registered domain name and a professional email address to connect. Because without professional email address, LinkedIn will not allow you to have a page. You can't
Look,
use your Gmail account or Yahoo account.
no, but with your profile, on your profile, you can make a page. So that option you definitely have. So is that?
But again, you need a professional email address.
No, they made it. Was it required? I don't know
Yes,
whether I put it there.
it is required, because you have a professional email address that is required.
Whatever, I don't know whatever, if I have got a professional one which I put out, but I really wanted to make that general, because for me, or otherwise, personally, everyone should use the Gmail thing is what I thought. But that can also, I mean, professional email addresses is not an issue, that can definitely one. But is there an advantage of otherwise, other than creating a presence as a
See, as a presence, yes, because as soon as the first 100 followers are very difficult, please understand. But the time you cross, not first 100, first 1,000 followers on LinkedIn is a task. But the time you cross that 1,000 mark, the LinkedIn themselves helps you to promote your page, or it helps you with better reach to audience.
Which
So
means I should circulate that
yes,
information that please
yes,
like the page,
yeah,
liking the page. So
yeah. And
first,
also one more thing happens is, let's say if I am part of your team, for example, I will put up somewhere in my profile that I'm part of your team, that I'm working with Mediator Vikram, for example. Okay, it will again reflect onto the company's page that how many people are working with you or working with that particular
okay,
organization.
okay. So
So
what you're
again,
saying,
yeah.
okay,
So
so
again, people from my community or my network will know that, okay, you know what, she's working here. Let's check what's happening there. They end up going there, and defaultly, out of 100%, you will find at least 70% people following the page defaultly because I'm working there. So that's the benefit.
that one we have to talk about whether that should be done. But the idea was never to create an institution. I'm saying there's so many institutions out there, but I see that individually a person can do so much. So I just did not want, look, that's the easiest route to take. That's the easiest route.
I get that. I
And but
understand
there is
why it is so
so much,
different.
there's so many institutions being doing it for years, but when I see the activities, I see very limited activities happening. So I did not want to go that route, and that route is, of course, look, on the monetization aspect, definitely that's a very good route. There's so much you can, I mean, the work that I do, out of that, so much monetization I can do, but did not want to go there. I just felt that, I don't know. But the page part of it, I'll have a look at what that page thing was. What was it? What was the whole idea behind it? Because I with Facebook also, I started that page. I don't even know what the purpose of that page is. Finally, everything comes on my profile, all the posts and everything. So now I have to sometimes post something on the page also. But are people, I mean, is there a benefit? I really actually want to understand why do they make
There's
those pages?
difference. See, one thing is there's difference between having a personal profile and a page. Now, if I say personal profile, I only have my friends and family on that particular.
Acha, okay,
When
that
it
way.
is personal, when it is a page, I only have my followers or people who I meet randomly and I invite them. Okay, you can connect with me on Facebook. They get to see my page,
Okay.
professional page.
Okay.
So
So
that's
my,
the
okay. So
difference.
my profile is totally what a page would be. So
Yes.
that no, but have you tried the what about the WhatsApp business account? Is there any
Uh,
advantage of that?
yes. Now the advantage is that you can actually automate the messages. Like for example, if you received a message from me today, hi, I would like to speak to you. You can automate the reply to it, whether you have seen it or not. So you
So
can say
when
that,
it reaches that out.
thank you for reaching out to me. I will connect with you as soon as I see the message or something, whatever you want to reply. So automation of messages can be done. Also, again, um, you can also get verified on WhatsApp, which most of the people do. If you have a business account and you can prove that yes, you are up and running a proper business, you can get your WhatsApp number verified, so that there is no fraud or scam done under your name or under your bank.
But what are the other things they have there that you can put out some details about?
Yeah, you can create your catalog. You can put up details of your business, the address, the website, everything.
But is there a downside of making that's just a one-click thing? The same number goes there. So the same number becomes a business account. Any downside of it?
But now at least I haven't come across, to be honest. I haven't.
So
I
should I make it? Should I make it? Because look, WhatsApp really, there is no such activity, work-related activity. No one, everyone.
see, like just say you said that you don't know difference between a page and a
Profile.
account. And for you, it doesn't make a difference because your actual page itself is, everything is on your account.
Yeah.
So only invest in, create only those digital footprints that you can handle. Don't create unwanted ones. Like for
Exactly.
example, you said you have created LinkedIn page, which you're possibly not using much. You've created Facebook page, but again, you have to, it's an add-on activity for you to, post something there. So don't create anything which will create hassles for you. Just simplify
No, I
things.
just no. What I was thinking was that does it? I mean, because look, algorithm will work in a certain way. Like I told you, the posts are only shown to a limited number of people. So on the page, if people have liked your page, are those posts shown to more people, or they shown to everyone who likes your page? Definitely not to everyone who likes your page.
Algorithm, see, if we work as per algorithm and we keep thinking about algorithm, trust me, we'll be never able to use social media. So hence, irrespective of algorithm, we have to be consistent with our work on social media. That is what I'm saying.
No, that goes on. But I'm just thinking that.
And then what happens is there would be times wherein you will have good interaction or good number of interaction on your post. There would be times wherein you have zero or least interaction on your post. So that is normal. You don't have to worry about it because those numbers you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's just that you, like you said, you're focusing on creating a revolution. You'll have to stick to the agenda rather than focusing on numbers. Yes, numbers are very encouraging. I get it, but if we think from the algorithm point of view, we'll just go crazy, to be honest.
Because I just felt that if it's like works twice the amount, you reach out to more people just because the posts on the profile will be shown to that 40 people. That's what I understand, that don't show it to everyone. I don't know whether that happens or not. So that on the other hand, the people who liked your page, that goes out to some more people. So that way, it's just that your information is going out to more people.
For example, your Facebook page has a limit of 5,000 people that you can add as friends.
Profile, on the profile.
Your personal profile. But if you have a page, there is no limit of people liking your page and following your page.
Yeah. So that's an important thing. That's an important difference.
That's important.
So on the long term basis, yes. But Jharna, what have you tried using Telegram?
Yes, that works the best. That's again a very good underrated platform which we in India we don't use.
Because I did start a channel there. I've started a channel there thinking I will put out that information. But how many people are actually looking at Telegram? I mean, are they? You think that's a?
Okay, I'll tell you what. If you tell me that you're only available to connect between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., I will make sure that I reach out to you only between this particular time. But if you tell me that you are available for the entire day, I will assume it that you're even available for 3 a.m., which is apparently your sleeping time. So if you create your channel on Telegram and say that, I'm building a community on Telegram, it's take it or leave it situation. So if whoever wants to be part of that community, they will come on Telegram, be part of your channel.
So that means, that things should start. I should put it out which also means that I will have to, of course, update that, put whatever post. So let us see whether I've sent Jharna a message to subscribe to it or not. Let me see. Did I? Because I sent it out to people who were on Telegram. There are not so many people on Telegram.
It's just that people are not regular on Telegram, but people use Telegram.
Because of your privacy settings, can't be sent out. So you put out a privacy setting that someone cannot send you. Yes. So like imagine, so these are the kind of things people will do.
No, so what you see now, you have to use the power of WhatsApp to get people on Telegram to your channel. So that cross promotion is important. You have to get people from different platforms to use Telegram.
So now what you have to do is you have to search for the Mediator Vikram channel on YouTube. And then you have to subscribe to that. So now that information also have to be put out, that that little link has to be put out. So basically I think what I should do is one post should go out with the YouTube aspect of it, subscribe. Then yep, Mediator Vikram channel. Yep. So now when you subscribe, you can see the previous posts also.
Yes, I can see all the posts from the day one till date. I can see all the posts.
So that's the advantage there, because otherwise WhatsApp of thing
does not gives you that benefit. Also, because this is a channel on Telegram, you can have unlimited people subscribing to it. WhatsApp has a limit of, I think, 252.
No, but that also, I did not want to use WhatsApp is only because you can see everyone on that group. And people have their privacy aspect of it. They don't want to tell people about their mobile numbers and all. So this way, at least that no one else can see your number or whatever.
Exactly. So in terms of privacy setting and other benefits for your business promotion, Telegram has better features compared to WhatsApp. It's just that we underestimate the power of Telegram.
So you think people are using Telegram? Because like, I'm telling you, when I see my contacts.
The reason I have that particular privacy setting is because I think everybody from my contacts is on Telegram and people use it regularly.
Because when I said, let me invite people to subscribe to the channel, and when I saw the people who were on Telegram, because the thing is with me is that contact list is huge. Because what happens right from the beginning, I used to back up the contacts. So years that all those people still kept getting added to it. So there's so many people on that. But when I looked at actually the number of people on Telegram out of that, not too many. I still see new people coming on to Telegram. Of course, not so many every day, but I do see a lot of them come up. So right now, I can see that a lot of people, new people have, so many people have got their added. So things, it is developing. Let's just say it's developing, and it
Okay,
will
see,
be,
also,
it should be
see,
there. You
that's
should,
what I said. Now, if you give people only one address to be there, people will be there. But if you tell them that, oh, I even have my community here, here, and here, people will be scattered. So if you want to leverage, if you want to bring or build your entire community on Telegram, just tell them that, what, all the updates are on Telegram. You can go and have a look at it or be part of it. You'll get further updates there.
first of all, that you can go here and download Telegram and then use. First, I will also educate them on Telegram about Telegram. Also, there's no harm in doing that.
Not really. See, I'll be honest, the time you get into those things that, I have to educate them, you take all responsibility on yourself. And that is where, you're like, I have too much of things to do. So you just simply share out the link. Whoever wants to be part of it, they will themselves join.
I was surprised, actually surprised. We had one of this discussion. We had part of the conference, some discussion. So someone spoke about Telegram, and there was some. I think at least one person I know said, "What is Telegram?" That kind of thing. So I don't know. So, but yet also it's okay when you put out a link and they click it. I'm sure they'll get an option of downloading Telegram.
Yeah, they do get an option to download.
So Jharna, at this, I mean, we think we should, of course, before we end, is there any new thing happening in terms of platforms? These are the ones we know about. Is something developing at the back which we don't know about, and which another generation has started using?
Well, there are a lot of it. There are a lot of it. It's just that, being present everywhere does not make sense at all, is what I would suggest. I would suggest limit yourself so that you have maximum audience on those limited platforms, one. And I would say be consistent. Be consistent with your work.
But the Pinterest, did you check Pinterest out? Does that work?
Okay. Pinterest is good for, creative ideas. Like, for example, fashion, blogging, social media, those typical Bollywood news that I would want to know. So for creativity, craft, and art stuff is what I would recommend Pinterest, but not for legal stuff, because I've tried that. It does not really work. Of course, there are a lot of content there, and it's good to be the first take the first mover advantage, but you don't get the results that you expect.
No, I'm just thinking from the perspective that we have to widen the people whom we reach out in relation to mediation. Because look, mediation world is by itself, okay, LinkedIn and all will cover that. But now the user, and to get the younger people involved. So then that is where I felt that maybe, I don't know how Pinterest, I mean, because I had these
that's what I said.
posters that I have.
The reason I talk about platforms only on those particular set is because I know I've tried and tested for myself. With respect to Pinterest, I have tried the legal stuff and the mediation stuff. They don't really work. They don't.
But you said Instagram. Did you? I mean,
Instagram,
have you used?
Yes. If like, as again I said, if you're consistent with your work, you have good, audience and people trusting you with your work.
But I just followed you on Instagram. So let's see, how does that work? Because look, reels and all is something that people use. I put out only one I put out up till now. There was this person from Russia who had sent a very nice message on New Year's, New Year's thing message. I really love that message, so I put that out. That was the only reel I ever put out. So maybe there is some reach there, because people are using Instagram. It's not, I mean, people are
using Instagram, but then you need to know. See, I don't expect you to do reels. No. Yes, those are trending, but you need to understand who is your audience who is looking for it. Is it the person who is like, if I have let's say a conflict to resolve, do you think I'll be a person who will be watching reels? Not really. I would want to listen a little more. Again, you never know, but then understanding the maturity of the person, that person would not be into reels, to be honest. So you have to really think from that perspective, that what is the mindset or what is the psychology of your target audience.
But what is the alternative to TikTok? Have we got something here in India now?
We have YouTube Shorts. We have YouTube Shorts as well.
Okay, so there's nothing else that developed which took the space of TikTok. That did not happen.
There is lot. There is lot of them.
Okay.
It's just that I'm not able to recollect the name, but yes, there's lot of small video apps. There's a lot of them.
So perfect, Jharna. So really nice, very educative. It's not this your work doesn't end here. You have to continue this process of educating me at least, and of course, mediators should contact you for you to promote them. That is what you will be doing. That's what you're going to be doing. That's your team. That's what your team does.
Yes, that's what most of we do.
But what name do you work under? Is Jharna only, or is there a Prerna Foundation is for the other work?
Yes.
Jharna is working as an individual, does her mediation. Is there some other
Yeah.
name?
I work under the brand name called Pixels.
It's okay. I saw that on Twitter. Twitter, there was Pixels. Right. Okay. So Pixels. How do people get in touch with you?
They can reach out to me through either of the platforms and I'll be replying to them. Or
Jharna,
they can
Jharna
connect with me.
Jagtiani, they search for, and then Pixelets. Why Pixelets?
It's basically transforming your journey from pencil to pixel, helping you to get digital, helping you to reach out to a wider audience.
Pixelets. Okay. Great. So, Jharna, very nice talking to you. Although, obviously, all those, whether it was happening yesterday or whatever, and you were worried what am I going to
Yeah.
talk about and everything. That's one worry you don't have to have when you come into my or any of these sessions that I do. That's one worry you don't have to come with. What am I going to talk about? How am I going to structure it? But that's a bit of an issue also, that there is not going to be a structure most of the time, and which is something which kind of came up in the conversation in the neurodiversity and mediation. Martha, who is autistic, was talking about this aspect that we like to know what's happening, at least some structure or something, which in this case also it wasn't okay. I think we've covered everything that needed to be covered, but it wasn't Jharna coming out with a PowerPoint and part we have to talk about. So perfect. So thank you very much, Anna. And please attend other sessions of the conference. Drop in whenever. I'm sure you've seen the schedule. I don't have to tell you. So please stand up. So any closing kind of thing you want to tell people, please.
Don't feel shy to promote yourself. Don't feel shy because you put a lot of efforts to build who you are today as a professional, and let the world know about it. Whether it is your service, whether it is about you, take it up and just be consistent. That's what I would say. So that's my closing remark. And yes, don't just be on social media for fun. Actually leverage it for it. It really works.
Perfect. So thank you.